Welcome back. This is Ganesh Kudara continuing again my training on Linux basics and file system, root file system. And in this training, I will cover further on the /bin folder. And /bin folder contains primarily very critical folder structures which contains a lot of C runtime library. If you look at the system D, this contains the system. If you look at this system D, all the distribution vendor shipped all the configuration for the system is services will be most of the time available. Some of the user customizable are kept in EDC, but most of the system specific are kept in the lib system D. And if you look at as a system D services are as equivalent as the previous session, I will go deeply into that in the next session. Coming back to the other folders, almost all the default configurations for the different shared libraries. Why lib is there? Lib contains basically all the shared libraries which dynamically can be loaded into the memory. And if you see that we have seen that this ld-linux.so, which is a dynamic loader which is loading the Linux onto all the shared library into the memory, and that contains different libraries which can be loaded into the memory. And /lib contains the core libraries, shared libraries which can be loaded into the memory. And if you look at the not only that, it contains firmware folder which contains the all the binaries and the firmwares which for different graphics card, sound card, audio card, basically the Ethernet and all the external peripherals, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all those peripherals, whatever the firmware required are available on the /lib firmware. And if you look at the /lib modules, all the kernel modules are available on the /lib modules. And other than that, if you look at the usually in ARM, it will be ARM, whatever the ARM architecture version, ARM V7L or ARM V8 or whatever, ARM 64, it will be there. Usually in the x86 GNU, whatever the ABI name, inside this all the major libraries are available. If you look at the major libraries, like one of the major libraries I can talk about is this is the mathematical library. And if you look at the other libraries, ld-linux, this is the loader, Linux loader, and other library is there. If you look at and there are a lot of libraries like crypto libraries, and most of these libraries, shared libraries can be loaded from the /lib folder. And as you know that there are variables like ld preload and other variables which can be configured. And those configurations I forgot actually in /etc. There is a ld dot. This can be configured for updating your library list and shared library list, and you can always configure which folders you want to pick up what libraries. And ld.so.conf, and there is a command called ldconfig which can be also used for configuration. If you go back to the lib book, this is one of the important folder of the lib /lib, and there are a lot of other details we can go through, but I will continue further, and I will cover on sys and proc file systems. Sys and proc file systems are the virtual file system provided by Linux, and it is a kernel actually. Basically, this is a virtual file system, and it's like it's a view in the memory, and basically this is like mounted while the your system D services are starting at the boot up time. The initial time these structures are mounted from the as a view in the memory. Actually, system basically we can say sys and proc are the file system which are provided a mechanism to talk to the kernel and configure some of the parameters, or you want to get some data from the kernel, or you want to send some data to the kernel. Those kind of configurations can be done with the sys and proc file systems. And there are a lot of directory structures inside the system class proc file systems are available. I'll go deep into that actually in my real classes when I cover on the kernel side actually. But if you look at some of the critical directory structures inside the sys is the class, which contains the one example of inside the sys class, right? You can see in the inside the sys class there are different directories for the different devices are available. For example, backlight is there, net is there. Usually, whenever your network devices are identified by Linux, right, you want to see which all the devices are identified. It is easy to check. You can go to sys class net and you can see the list of devices which are identified. Even though you are sometimes you are see, this is the device which are detected in my machine, but consider that all these devices, let's say consider you want to debug your system and you are not seeing some devices not detected. It is easy to go to sys class net and identify. And anyway, device driver and debugging framework is easily provided by the sysfs, and proc is a very old file system provided by Linux. Now most of the entries are provided in sysfs, and sysfs provides both also it provides a debugfs as well as traceability for the debugging some of the kernel modules and issues with the integration between kernel modules and the user space applications. Those can be easily debugged with the sysfs. Now mostly for a normal users or a entry level developer, application developers, sys class may be some of the information only they can get it, but for kernel developers or device level developers or embedded system developers, sys and proc file systems plays very major role. Now coming back to the sysfs, some of the things which you can see is that if you see the bus, there are a lot of devices which are identified in the bus folder, and you can always configure and or you can get details about the devices from the sysbus. I'll not go details about the sysbus, and maybe in the next session I will cover about sysbus and proc. If you see the proc, one of the important still traditional devices that are supported is bus input devices. Cut off.